You don't have control over what someone else is going to do or how they're going to respond. So there's so much of the unknown that goes with conflict. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatima, Coach Fatima, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. I'm an initial wife. I've been in polygyny for 11 years. For those of you that are new, been married for 26 years to Coach Nazir, and I wanted to shout out my awesome co-wife, Coach Nyla. She makes it easy. She really, really does, and I need to say that. With this video, as good as things may be, with this video, I really wanted to talk about and address a topic that has been brought to my attention and a question that has been brought to the OPR team as a whole. And it's really more so geared to us as co-wives. And that question is, are we feeling the need to escape polygyny? No, that's the short answer to that question. We both are here willingly of our own free will. If I wasn't here of my free will, then, I would say that. I wouldn't make videos. I wouldn't be a part of this incredible platform, because I have to think about me and what I need. And if I'm not feeling like I'm in a healthy space, if I'm feeling as though I'm being abused in any way, then that's something that I have to decide and make sure that I take care of me and leave. But I don't have that situation. I have a very loving family. I have a supportive family. We have a supportive husband. He's not a tyrant. He's just never been that way. He hates confrontation, hates it. He does not like to, he doesn't like to argue. He doesn't like to fuss. He doesn't like those things. It's just not of his character. It's never been that way. I've known him since he was 14. He's never liked conflict. Now, he doesn't start it. He won't start it, but he definitely can hold his own if he has a conflict with anyone. And I have every confidence in my soul that he can do that. I've seen him do that. So he's a grown man. He can hold his own, and we're grown women. So we have every right to be here if that's what we want to do. We have every right to go if that's what needs to happen. So I say that my co-wife makes it easy because we don't have drama. We never had drama. And I'm glad she's that way because she hates confrontation. I hate confrontation. All three of us do. Our three personality types do not like confrontation at all. Now, once again, like I said, we can hold our own, of course, but we don't like to be in that position to have to do that. It's when you're in a conflict with someone, it's so awkward. It just like fills you with anxiety. It fills you with so much of the unknown. You don't have control over what someone else is going to do or how they're going to respond. So there's so much of the unknown that goes with conflict. And conflict can become very, very verbally violent. It can become physically violent with some people. So we just don't like it. And it's not something that drives us. It is not something that propels us. It's not something that is a sport in our family. We don't do that. Like if we have to have a hard conversation, we have it. If we have hard questions for one another, we ask them. Was it always that way where we were able to kind of ask or say? No, it wasn't always this way. So we always like to tell people, don't compare your chapter 1 with our chapter 11, because we had to go through the humps and the bumps, but we just did not caused this verbal violence, this physical violence, but we did have to sit down and have some conversations within our marriages, our separate marriages, and the three of us. So I celebrate that because I'm with people that we've all three actually have learned to be more open and, be more receptive to information at different times, not simultaneously, because this is not a competition. It's not a competition in any way, shape, or form. And I've never liked to look at it that way, even though I have in the past. I never liked to, but I knew that I was letting other people unload their crap onto me. So if they were insecure about my marriage or this situation that I'm in, or polygyny, they would dump that on me. If that was me, I'd feel this way and I'd do this and I'd look for this and I'd snoop here and that's not me. I don't snoop. I ask. I don't go behind the scenes and look up stuff and get on Facebook and accidentally poke people in Facebook. I don't do that. My co-wife doesn't do it. Coach Nazir would never. I mean, he's just not that way. And we're just not nosy people in that regard. I'm just not nosy. I think a lot of that, when you look for stuff, you're going to find it. So I've never been one to go snooping around and looking for stuff. Now, I'll go look for a good deal. I'll go snoop around on some interior design and some art pages and likes and see what local artists are doing or interior designers. That kind of snooping, that kind of investigative work, I love that. But I'm not dealing with the business that doesn't pay me. I'm not dealing with the business that is not mine. So when people ask, are you escaping polygyny? Is he holding you there? Is he making you all work? Are you employees of his? No. I'm grown. Coach Nyla's grown. Coach Nazir is grown. We're people that have been married for a long time. We're people that have many children between us. There's a dozen children in this family. We don't have time to sit up here and try to control each other. There's no desire to sit up here and try to control each other. That's not going to work. So we all have made a commitment to fulfill our own needs and the needs of our family and the needs of the people that we can help. We can't drag, we can't make, we can't do any of that. Our family has a code of honor, a physical code of honor that we all sat together with our children, whether they be, young, maybe they be older and adults, and came up with our own family code of honor. And part of that is respecting one another and it's respecting each family member's role within the family. So I don't want to escape anything that's healthy for me. I'm not going to do that. But I'm not the escape type of person. I will tell you what I'm going to do. If I feel like it's a situation that is abusive, hypothetically speaking, I'm not going to ball up and hide and run. And I know maybe, we got to talk about these things. Maybe some women have to do that. Maybe they have to be very smart about leaving or divorcing or whatever the case may be. So I always want to be sensitive to that. I'm speaking about my own experience, not to diminish theirs in any way, shape, or form. I would never do that because I do know some sisters in the past that have been abused, that have been mentally abused, that have been physically abused. And that's when I become very serious, very, very serious. I know I'm looked at as the one that kind of jokes and cracks jokes and stuff, but I can get serious when I want to be. And the topic of abuse and polygyny, the topic of abuse, mentally, verbally, or physically, in marriage and in polygyny is very serious in my culture, which is Islam, and it's very serious to me in my heart. And I like to champion for people. I like to campaign for people. Like I said, I'm an ENFP, and that's what we do. We try to pull out the greatness that other people may not see within themselves. That's just something I do, and I never get tired of it. And another thing that I do and I don't get tired is making sure I stand up for what's right, the OPR team does that as a whole. Our family does that as a whole. If we see something that needs to be corrected within each other, within others, we do our best to correct those things and give sincere advice. And I know that when I wasn't feeling my best about polygyny, when it was difficult for me to even talk about, I knew that one day if I did my work, I'd be in a place of healing, and then I would be able to help heal other people. So that is why this work is so important to me personally. I can't speak for everyone on the OPR team, but for Coach Fatima, that's why this work is fulfilling. That's why this work is important to me, because I remember when I was in a place that didn't feel so good, that was traumatic. So as far as escaping polygyny, maybe some women feel as though they need to, and they have very good reasons why. But for myself, personally, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I need to run. I would not need to run. Nazir's not the kind of person that would hold somebody that doesn't want to be held. He's never been that way. So, alhamdulillah, I'm glad that he is set up the way that he is. And he's able to say, look, if something's going to work, it's going to work. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So no amount of forcing it is going to make it work. So, and that happens with putting Allah first in your life. And that happens with, of course, much personal development and just understanding that we don't have ownership over anyone else. So I celebrate that. I think all three of us are the same in that regard. So no, I don't feel as though I need to escape polygyny. I don't feel as though I need to escape marriage. And if I've ever felt or ever feel in the future that I need to, like that I need to go or this is not going to work out, at least I can say, we tried. We tried, I don't know the future. And I'm just saying that because I don't know the future. And it's okay to go if things are not working out. The marriage was created and so was the divorce. Even though we exhaust every effort, and I like to say it on a multitude of my videos, because oftentimes, especially women, we feel sometimes we just need to stay and just work it out, just take it, And I'm like, first of all, let's make sure we're taking things. Let's make sure something is actually happening to us. And sometimes things are happening to us and sisters need to go. But there's a checklist of things that have to happen before the leaving happens or before the healing in the marriage happens. Because, you can feel broken in a marriage and then you can do your work and your husband does his work and you work on yourselves and come together and decide that you're going to make it happen and make your marriage work. So I just had to say that because it can go either way. Sometimes it's a gray area and things are a mess and then you're trying to figure it out and he's trying to figure it out. I like to see people try, even though it may not be ideal, but at least everyone is putting in the effort and everyone's trying. And sometimes you can't do anything with somebody that's not doing anything. You can't do anything with someone that's not putting in their effort and being present within the marriage. So I just had to say that because I know everyone's situation is not mine. I know some people need to get divorced. Some people need to stay married. I know that. But it's a decision that is very personal that one must make for themselves with their partner / spouse. So I'll never tell somebody, what you need to get divorced. They really need to make that decision on their own, and they need to make the decision to stay married That's another thing. We make decisions on the good and the bad things, And sometimes, in some cases, marriage is not the best for people, if it's not going to work, and sometimes divorce is the best option. I said it. I have friends that have been divorced and they have taught me much. And shout out to them. They know who they are. My co-wife has taught me much about divorce, and she talks about her journey, and I really celebrate her being transparent because that's not easy. But I use those moments as teachable moments, even for me, so that I can kind of get a perspective on what it's like for some women to be divorced and have to come up and make that decision and really, really pray on it. So with that, yes, the short answer is no. I don't feel a need to escape polygyny. I like saying I'm happy when people ask me how I am. I always tell them I'm happy. Now, I don't stay happy all day, but I am. Overall, if somebody said, Coach Fatima, are you happy? I have to say yes. I have to be honest and say yes. Because I've experienced massive growth. So that makes me happy. And I always practice an attitude of gratitude. And when I find myself being ungrateful, then I'll look around me. And I always, always find something to be grateful for. And I always find something that has barakah in it. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave you, to the end of this video. I hope you guys got some really great gems. Once again, I love doing these and talking to you all. And leave a comment below. Follow us on our socials if you're not, Coach Fatima. And then follow us on YouTube and Facebook at Outstanding Personal Relationships, and on IG, we're Outstanding Relationships, okay? I'll leave you with a little GLC. Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Here are 3 ways Outstanding Personal Relationships can help you.
One is by following us on our social medias. Follow us on IG at Outstanding Relationships, and on Facebook and YouTube at Outstanding Personal Relationships. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell.
Number 2, make sure you head over to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com and subscribe to the email list. From there, you will get downloads as well as updates, any and all updates. And you also get an update on the release of our new book, Let's Talk Polygyny, Uncensored.
Number 3, if you are serious about polygyny relationships and really developing fulfillment and happiness, make sure you register for our Relationship Mastery Inner Circle, which is members only, which includes downloads. It includes access to us live on a weekly basis. So that's at outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/RM. We'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.